When I walked in, she was just laid out in a recliner, bleeding all over the place, and I forcefully made her go to the emergency room. I can't even describe the feeling. I mean, he had bit a chunk out of her face up here, so there was a chunk of her side of her neck just kind of hanging there. Her eyes were all black. He had put cigarettes out on her face. You can't describe it. You know, I had to get her to the hospital. I mean, I thought she was going to lay there and die.
When you took her to the hospital, was she ready to tell them what had happened, or did you have to encourage her at that point?
I had to give her an ultimatum. My exact words were, you take a good look at my face because it'll be the last time you'll ever see it because I'm going to go kill him. So either you do the right thing or you say goodbye to Mom. So, and she agreed then that she would.
One of the reasons the prosecutor's office asked me not to write about this case, and generally they don't want us to write about domestic violence cases until there's a conviction, is that sometimes victim will decide to drop the charges or decline to testify. Was that, did you sense that there was ever a moment where your daughter was considering that?
Yes, a lot. So I told her if I had to take her kicking and screaming she was going to testify. She was scared to death. He would call her, well, from January of this year to March of this year, there were 614 calls made from him to her. And she was scared to death to do anything.
From the jail to her?
Yes, and I found out about that, so I personally took him to court, put a deadlock on him. So he couldn't make any calls, couldn't write her, couldn't do anything.
You talked about her getting back to herself. Do you feel like she's achieved that yet? Where would you say she's at in that journey?
I think waking hours, she's achieved that. She's got her self-confidence. We talk a lot. She tells me a lot. So I think when she's awake, she's fine. I think she has her moments. But when she sleeps, she cannot sleep peaceful. She thrashes in bed. She yells. She's still to this day. She just doesn't sleep. I mean, she thinks she sleeps and gets rest, but she is all over. She's kicking, she's screaming. She has nightmares constantly about it. The things he did to her and kept her for 2 days, he is totally screwed up in the head. There is something wrong with him. He needs to get some help because a normal person doesn't do this kind of things. He should have gotten way more than 6 years.
He was eligible for a habitual violent offender aggravation. They waived that in the plea deal.
I don't understand why the plea stayed on the table for so long.
With a six-year sentence, he could potentially serve a minimum of 3 with good behavior time. I suspect I know the answer, but do you think that was sufficient time?
No way. No way. There's not enough time for what he's done to her, period. And I hope some big boy in prison shows him exactly what it's like to be somebody's punching bag.